Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tashi Namgyel. On behalf of TASA, well, we would like to present about our game that we have developed, which is called as Escape. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the game concept, genre, camera angle, game goals, the gameplay experience, and what I have contributed to this project and my rating. And each of my members will also talk about what they have contributed and their rating. So starting off with game concept. The game is a blend of exploration, puzzle solving, and action. It starts with an escape room scenario requiring players to find three hidden keys to open a locked door. After escaping, the player enters a maze filled with treasure, monsters, and more doors to unlock, creating a dynamic progression. The genre of this game is adventure and puzzle game. The escape room phase emphasizes puzzle and critical thinking, and action and exploration game. The maze phase focuses on combat, exploration, and reward. Camera angle for this game, the game uses a third-person perspective, providing a clear view of the character and the surroundings. This perspective enhances spatial awareness for solving puzzles and fighting monsters. The game goals. The primary goal is to escape the locked room by finding all three keys, and the secondary goal is to navigate and complete the maze, collect treasures scattered throughout the maze, fight and defeat monsters to progress, and unlock additional doors to discover hidden rewards. The playing experience it combines logic, problem solving in the escape room with thrilled action and exploration in the maze, aimed at keeping the player engaged with varied challenges and rewards. Now we are going to play a video to showcase the gameplay. So this was the demonstration for our gameplay. And now I'm going to talk about my contribution to this project. My contribution is I designed the key and sparkling particle effects to attract the player's attention and provide subtle hints for the escape room. This feature not only enhances the visual appeal, but also guides player, making the gameplay more intuitive. I created the effect using Unity's particle system and customized it to suit the game's aesthetics. And I also wrote some few scripts for the game. The first of which is the key item script. This script manages key collection in the game when the player when the player identified by the player tag interacts with a key, the on trigger enter function is triggered. The key is hidden using game object dot set active false, and the script communicates with the key manager by calling its collect key function to update the player's key count. This ensures smooth integration of key collection mechanics into the overall game logic. The key manager script tracks the player's collection progress and updates the game's UI. The key manager starts by displaying the initial key count using update key counter. When a key is collected, the collect key method increments the count, updates the UI when in the current progress, and checks if all required keys have been collected. If so, it hides the info zone game object to signify that the player can proceed. This script integrates key tracking with a clear visual representation for the player, and also after all the keys are collected, the door also opens. And the next script that I wrote is spin animation for the treasure. The script adds a spinning animation to the treasure object and handles its interaction with the player. In the update method, the object continuously rotates around its y-axis based on the rotation speed variable. When the player, identified by the player tag, interacts with the object by triggering a collision, the on trigger enter method removes the treasure from the scene using destroy game object. This is commonly used for interactive collectible items like keys or power-ups. And I have also written the pressure script. This script controls the interaction between a pressure pad and the acid object in the game. When the player steps on the pressure pad detected by the on trigger enter, the script sets a flag is player on pad to true. During this time, the update method continuously moves the acid object towards a predefined position using the move acid method. If the player leaves the pad on trigger exit, the flag is set to false, stopping the acid's movement. This adds an interactive mechanic where stepping on the pad triggers a visible reaction in the environment. Moving on to the next slide. As for rating myself, I think I would rate myself 10 out of 10 on this project. I believe I have demonstrated strong creativity and technical skills, especially in designing interactive elements like the key and the sparkling particles, and also the pressure pad and the acid. I also effectively integrated game mechanics like key collection and player interactions into the overall gameplay. However, there are areas I could improve, such as refining some of the UI elements and ensuring smoother transition between game phases. Overall, I am proud of the progress I have made and the learning experience it provided. Now moving on to the next presenter.
Hello, I'm Aykary Wynn, and these are the texts that I'm responsible for this project. How SX pet directional light in tunnel, make stretcher enemies and dolls and crystals. So the first task that I was searching for the perfect house design for the level 1 escape house, and I came across an excellent SX pack on the Unity access store called Abandoned Asylum. While the size of the pack is quite large, it offers a detailed and well-crafted design, and that worked perfectly for creating a fun and engaging escape house experience. And the second one is about the directional light in the tunnel. And in this text, I was responsible for building a tunnel as well, and that connect the level 1 and level 2. And to enhance the experience, I added a single directional light halfway along the tunnel path, and I set the light type to point light and with a range of 15 and adjust its color to a warm yellowish tone. And this lighting choice was designed to guide the player forwards and signal that they are approaching the next phase to their journey. And that is the entrance of the level 2. And the other text that I worked on for our game project was the structure of the maze. And for this, I carefully adjust both the size and difficulty of the maze based on how much time we want the player to spend navigating through it. And the maze include various tricks and obstacles and to keep the things interesting. But my main focus was on constructing the maze walls. And I made sure that they were well designed and provide a solid structure while supporting the overall challenge and the flow of the game. And my next task was to place the enemy throughout the maze to create more challenges for the player. And I add the 2 type of enemy in this game, the chomper and the spitter. So in total, I placed 8 enemy around corner, near treasures, and the end of the maze as well. And this ensured that the player will encounter threats in the critical points and making the maze both exciting and unpredictable. So the last task that I done was about the door and the crystals. So I learned in this course, I designed the door with a crystal on top, and this door serves as an entrance of the level 2. And to open it, the player needs to find 3 hidden keys throughout the house. And once all the keys are collected, the crystal will glow green, and the door also will open automatically. And the second crystal that I add is the end of the level 2, making the conclusion of the game. And this crystal stay green without requiring any trigger to show and the player that they reach to the end. So to give myself a rating, I will rate myself 8.5 because in this project, it helped me to, I learned a lot, and it's also helped me to improve my skill in Unity, level design, and creating the engaging gameplay mechanics. And overall, it was a very valuable experience that strengthened both my technical and creative ability. So that's all for my part, and now my friend will continue our presentation.
Hello everyone. My name is Hein. In this project, for my part, I have to visualize the logical design of the gameplay. And as you already know, there are 2 levels in this game. In level 1, the player is trapped inside the house, and she must find 3 keys in order to open the main gate and escape from the house. In level 2, after leaving the house, the player enters a maze filled with the enemies to defeat, go bounce for extra point, and pressure battle. Activating the pressure pad, remove the exit pool, and open some hidden doors to pass to the maze. I did this logical design encourage exploration, combat, and problem solving to advance in the game. And why we not yet. While developing the game, initially we had a problem where the player can walk through the walls and pass to the stair, which wasn't very ideal environment. So to fix this issue, we made the walls solid by adding rigid body so that the player cannot walk through them. For the stairs, we also have to face, we also encounter the same problem. So we added some collider to the stair, making sure that the player has to use them to go to the second floor. In addition, we also add collider to the second floor so that the player can step on it after using the stairs. I think this process makes the player interact with the environment properly and make the game feel more realistic. For my part of the project, I focus on enhancing the gameplay with treasure collection feature. So I import a coin treasure banner from the access store because it fits very well with the game concept. And I did this access allowing the player to collect coin in the level 2, providing extra point and reward excitement for the exploration. In this project, if I have to rate myself, I'm gonna give myself 7 out of 10 because I try my best to learn the Unity feature and try to cooperate with my teammates. And my my friends will present next presentation.
My name is Aung Myat, and in my part, I am responsible for these three parts, which are info zone, pressure pad, and crest, as I mentioned in this slide. So we use them to start each level, give clues, show progress, and celebrate the victory. So let's look at detailed explanation in this slide. So here you see the info at the intro info zone popping up right in the first image as the level begins. And this gives the player as a basic understanding of the control and the level goal. And also it's brief, it is focused, and we have made sure it's not interrupting the flow of the gameplay. So in the second picture, when the player finds the key, you can notice that the key count changes in the top right corner to 1/3. Also, the hint info zone of the rest key's location appears when you found one key. So players can easily press a key to continue into the game. And moreover, the key is not easy to find, so that in final, the players will get a satisfaction after finding each key. Next slide, please. So in this slide, we have strategy placement of the, so the previous slide, we have strategy placement of the hint info zone. So think of them as friendly, not just in the right direction. So let's quickly move to the tunnel area in this slide. So once the players are able to get the key from the hidden place, they need to use that key to get to the exit and get to level 2. So once level 1 is complete, when crossing the tunnel, it will show complete info zone for the player to know the transition to level 2. So after finishing all the levels and reaching the maze, which is the game level 3, the final info zone will appear, which is our game and info zone. So after finishing all the level, you can see that our info zones combined with the key collection mechanic, which make sure that the players feel a balance of guidance and challenge throughout their experience. So next slide, please. So for creating the visual effect of the grass in the maze, you see here in this slide, I wanted to feel organic, adding some colors like green and also make it interest to the area. Next slide. So in this slide, I work on interactive elements. You can see I created 2 pressure beds. One players activate these beds by stepping on them. They will trigger an important event in the maze. One pressure bed will make the exit point to disappear that is already exists, which is like creating a path or removing an obstacle for the player. And finally, by activating the rest pressure bed, one of the walls in the maze will vanish, providing the player with a new path to progress. And that's how my part works in our maze game. So that is all from me, and I believe I effectively fulfill my responsibilities and contributed positively to the project. And I successfully implemented the info zones, pressure bed, and grass features by enhancing the player experience. And also, I effectively communicated and collaborated with the team, ensuring smooth final project progress. So that is why I rate myself as 7.5 out of 10 for my overall contribution. So next slide, please. So that is the end of our gaming project. And this project helped us strengthen our problem solving, teamwork, and technical skill in gaming development. And we have gained hands-on experience with Unity, and we really learn how to combine creativity with practical development through this project. So thank you for your time and attention.